Le Nissan Kick-Split 2025 a beaucoup de plus. Apple CarPlay intégré pour jouer vos tunes préférées, des fonctions avancées de sécurité, un rendement énergétique remarquable, puis même la petite odeur de char neuf qu'on aime tant. Tout ça en plus pour moins. Le Nissan Kick Split 2025 est le véhicule neuf le plus abordable au Québec. Achetez-le à partir de seulement 22 774 $, incluant un rabais à l'achat comptant de 2 600 $. Profitez de cette offre avantageuse chez votre concessionnaire dès maintenant. Jusqu'au 2 mars, des conditions s'appliquent. Détails chez Nissan.
You know, I'm certainly envious when I look around the world. I look at Europe, look at Japan. I see their really fast trains, their high-speed rail, and I just say, man, I wish Canada could have that. Beats the milk run we have from Montreal to Toronto. If you're lucky, it'll get you there in, 5.5 hours, 5 hours, 45 minutes, if you're lucky. We have a lot of slow trains in this country. Well, imagine being on a train that travels 1,000 kilometers per hour and costs less than a plane ticket to travel on. That sounds like a dream, doesn't it? Especially if you're in Canada. Well, Canada could be getting its very own vacuum tube train. Its first phase would connect the cities of Calgary and Edmonton. I saw this story, and boy, did I want to find out more. Let's go to Sebastien Gendron, co-founder and CEO of Transpod. Sebastien, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good morning.
Tell me about Transpod, because it almost sounds too good to be true here. Tell me about what the vision is for vacuum trains.
I mean, first of all, it's not a science fiction project. It's a concept which has been around for many years. I admit that concept was a bit dusty, and back in 2013, Musk popularized the idea, said that that's the good idea, and then there's now a handful of companies working on that, and we are the Canadian company with the first, and we are the first one with an infrastructure project, I would say, like you said, to connect Calgary to Edmonton, and we're working on it, and so far so good. We're on track, I would say.
Okay, so for those people that have heard of that, that Elon Musk Hyperloop concept, similar to this. So let's go to the concept here, right? And just how much could that concept become a reality? You know, I see timelines here that show it's closer than many would think. But what say you, Sebastien? How close can the concept become a reality?
Yeah, so we're looking at having that line operational before 2035. It doesn't mean that you won't see anything until then. We have a first phase which consists of the connection of the Edmonton airport to the city of Edmonton. The financing for that first phase has been confirmed last March, and we aim to actually kick off construction on that end of next year, to build the first 5 to 10 kilometers segment to certify the technology. And to go back to your answer and explain what the concept is about, we're talking about vehicle the size of a train, coach, or a bus, with having the structure of an airplane, so it's an aircraft without wings, and they travel in a tube. So it's a steel tube on concrete pillars. So it's like a giant, I would say, pipeline. So nothing rocket science here, connected with vacuum pumps. And the concept is easy, is that by removing most of the air in the tube, you allow the vehicle actually to avoid aerodynamic friction and achieve speed similar to an airplane. So that's like the basic concept. And to achieve those speeds, we're using electromagnetic system for the levitation and the propulsion. And last July, we just unveiled a first functional prototype. We called it the FluxJet. And so that's step by step, we're getting there.
The functional prototype, the FluxJet. Well, this prototype, how long is this tube that you've done to show the concept works?
So more than the speed, the objective was really to showcase our intellectual property. So really the levitation and propulsion system. And so the vehicle itself is the size of a small car. We have a half-scale vehicle planned for next year, and then the full-scale vehicle planned for 2025, when the first segment in Edmonton will be ready. And then step by step, we'll have to demonstrate that the tech is safe to transport both passengers and goods. So that's yep.
We are with Sebastien Gendron, co-founder and CEO of Transpod, talking about concept here for a vacuum tube train and looking at between Edmonton and Calgary here. So Sebastien, why Edmonton, for the initial airport to the center and then Edmonton to Calgary? Why pick that area? And then I'd love to know who's going to pay for this. Is this investors? Is there public money? Where's the funding coming?
Yeah, so to answer your first questions, there's two corridors which are interesting in Canada, like who are economically viable. You have, of course, Toronto-Montreal, and the second one, Calgary-Edmonton. The first one, we chose Calgary-Edmonton following a recommendation from Transpod Canada. They said, you know what, Toronto-Montreal, it's nice, but you have to deal with two provinces, it's longer. Lots of, I would say, stakeholders in there when it comes to Via Rail, Air Canada, and so on. So I said, okay, focus in Alberta. It's going to be easier. It's shorter, straight, flat. It's only 300 kilometers, and you only have to deal with one province. And so far, they were right. We had some initial tractions, and they are willing to help us to execute the project. And the deal was crystal clear from the Alberta government. It was, you know what, if you can bring private money to do that, we can help you to execute the project. And to answer your second question, this corridor is financed 100% by the private sector. So there's no public money involved here.
And Sebastien, I got to ask you, being a CEO of a company like Transpod, when you mentioned the Montreal to Toronto corridor, when you see our current government and their latest pitch is we're going to do high frequency rail, it'll only take 4 hours and 20 minutes, not 5 hours. When you see that and they want to spend billions of dollars on it too, right? It's going to cost billions and billions of dollars for a very small improvement in service. So when you see that, what goes through your mind?
No, it doesn't make any sense, and I think. For many Canadians, it doesn't make any sense either. I understand the argument that some people may think that, okay, let's build something which already exists where we're 100% sure that it's working, but it needs lots of public funding. And I have to be honest with you, our objective is also to propose a transport system between Toronto to Montreal, and we have the obligation to succeed in Alberta, so we can implement such a system between Toronto to Montreal, and it can also be financed by the private sector. Mm-hmm. So we still have a bit of work to convince politicians and so on, but we definitely need to be more ambitious. And
Sebastien, just to wrap up here on the technology itself, right? The actual concept and technology. We are still, just so that we're clear with our listeners, we're still not 100% it would work in the real world. Like concept-wise, maybe on paper it works. Are we 100% sure it would work in the real world?
Not yet. Okay. That's the reason why we have still 3 or 5 years of development ahead of us.
Gotcha.
But that's also the reason why we unveiled that first functional prototype. On our side, we're confident that it's going to work. We don't have all the answers. I would be lying to say that, okay, we have all the answers, everything is sorted out and so on. No, we'll run into some issues, but nothing like which is kind of science fiction. 80% of existing tech are coming from the aerospace industry. Mm-hmm. We send rockets to the moon, and I can tell you that it's easier to build what we're doing than sending rockets to the moon. So there's no reason why we won't succeed.
Sebastien, as someone that wants high-speed rail in this country, I wish you lots and lots of success. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you very much.
Sebastien Gendron is co-founder and CEO of Transpod.